Deep in the shadows of history, entire civilizations have vanished, leaving behind only whispers of their existence. What if I told you that the myths and legends they left behind hold secrets that could reshape how we understand humanity's shared past? These forgotten stories, scattered across time and geography, are more than just tales. They are windows into the hopes, fears, and dreams of people long gone. From the haunting ruins of ancient cities to the oral traditions passed down through generations, these myths carry universal themes that still resonate with us today. Why do these stories endure? What truths do they hide beneath their layers of symbolism and mystery? And what can they teach us about ourselves and the world we live in? In this video, we'll journey across the globe to uncover the lost myths of ancient civilizations, stories that have been buried by time but continue to echo in our collective memory. Together, we'll explore their cultural significance, their historical roots, and the profound philosophical questions they raise. So, are you ready to step into the unknown and discover the legends that time forgot? Let's begin. The story of Atlantis begins with the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who first described this enigmatic civilization in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced island nation, rich in resources and technology, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. But its downfall came swiftly as the Atlanteans grew arrogant and sought to conquer the world. In a single day and night of catastrophe, the entire island was swallowed by the sea, vanishing without a trace. Plato's tale was meant as a cautionary allegory, a warning against hubris and the dangers of overreaching ambition. Yet, over the centuries, Atlantis has become more than just a moral lesson. It's a mystery that continues to captivate the imagination. Theories about Atlantis's possible location have sparked endless debate and exploration. Some believe it was situated in the Mediterranean, pointing to places like Santorini, where a massive volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE devastated the Minoan Civilization. Others argue for locations as far-flung as the Caribbean, the Azores, or even Antarctica. Each theory brings its own evidence, from geological formations to ancient maps, but none have definitively solved the puzzle. What's fascinating is how this enduring search reflects our collective desire to uncover lost histories and connect with a world that might have once been. Beyond its physical location, Atlantis has left an indelible mark on culture. It's inspired countless books, films, and artworks, becoming a symbol of both human ingenuity and vulnerability. The myth resonates because it taps into universal fears of catastrophe, of losing what we've built, and of the consequences of our own actions. Atlantis reminds us that even the mightiest civilizations can fall, often from within. It's a story that feels eerily relevant even today. And while Atlantis may be the most famous lost city, it's far from the only one. Across the globe, tales of sunken civilizations echo through time, from the submerged ruins of Yonaguni in Japan to the legendary city of Dwarka in India. These stories, like Atlantis, speak to something deep within us, a fascination with what lies beneath the waves and the secrets they might hold. But that's a story for another time. For now, the mystery of Atlantis remains, a testament to humanity's enduring curiosity and the power of myth to shape our understanding of the world. Deep beneath the waves off the coast of Brittany lies a story that has echoed through the centuries, a tale of ambition, pride, and the relentless power of nature. This is the legend of Wise, a once great city said to have been swallowed by the sea as punishment for the arrogance of its rulers. According to Breton folklore, Wise was a marvel of its time, a thriving metropolis protected by towering walls and a massive gate that opened only during low tide. But it wasn't the waves or storms that doomed Wise. It was the pride of its princess, Dahat, whose reckless actions led to the city's tragic downfall. The story goes that Dahat, enchanted by the luxuries and power of her kingdom, grew careless and defiant. One fateful night, she stole the key to the city's protective gates from her father, King Gradlon, and opened them during a fierce storm. The sea rushed in, flooding the streets and dragging the entire city into the depths. Some versions of the myth even suggest that Dahat herself was turned into a mermaid or sea spirit, forever bound to the waters that claimed her home. The vivid imagery of Wise's underwater ruins, its golden spires and marble halls now encrusted with coral, has captivated storytellers for generations, serving as a haunting reminder of the dangers of hubris. Interestingly, the legend of Wise often draws comparisons to the myth of Atlantis, another great civilization lost to the sea. Both stories share themes of divine punishment and the consequences of human pride. Yet, while Atlantis is often depicted as a utopia brought low by its own technological hubris, Wise is more deeply rooted in personal folly and moral failure. The tale of Wise carries a poignant lesson about the fragility of power and the inevitability of retribution, themes that resonate across cultures and time. This myth also reflects a broader pattern in folklore, the idea that natural disasters are often tied to human wrongdoing. From the biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah to the sinking of Mu in Pacific legends, these tales serve as cautionary reminders of humanity's vulnerability in the face of nature's wrath. The story of Wise, with its blend of tragedy and moral instruction, invites us to reflect on the balance between ambition and humility and the timeless consequences of our choices. As we explore these myths of cities lost to the sea, we uncover not just stories of destruction, but also enduring lessons about the human condition. What other forgotten civilizations lie beneath the waves, waiting to be rediscovered? And what can their stories teach us about our own world today? Deep within the dense, uncharted jungles of the Amazon lies a mystery that has captivated explorers and dreamers for centuries: the fabled City of Z. Often compared to the legendary El Dorado, this mythical city was said to be a place of unimaginable wealth, with golden temples and untold treasures hidden beneath the canopy. But unlike El Dorado, which was rooted in the tales of the Muisca people of Colombia, the City of Z emerged from the accounts of British explorer Percy Fawcett, who vanished in the 1920s while searching for it. His disappearance only added to the allure, turning the city into a symbol of the unknown and the unattainable. Fawcett's expeditions were fueled by fragments of indigenous stories, old maps, and his own unshakable belief in the city's existence. He wasn't alone in his quest. Countless adventurers followed, lured by the promise of discovery and the thrill of the unknown. Yet, despite their efforts, the City of Z remained elusive, blending fact and fiction so seamlessly that it became impossible to separate truth from myth. Some believe Fawcett stumbled upon evidence of an advanced pre-Columbian civilization, while others think the city was nothing more than a mirage, a product of wishful thinking and the human desire to believe in something greater. What makes the City of Z so fascinating isn't just the treasure it might hold, but what it represents. It's a mirror reflecting humanity's unyielding obsession with the unexplored, the idea that somewhere just beyond our reach lies a world of wonder waiting to be found. This myth taps into something primal, a longing to uncover secrets and push the boundaries of what we know. And while the Amazon may not hold a golden city, it does hold something equally valuable: the enduring mystery that keeps us searching. As we leave the jungles of South America, our journey takes us to the other side of the globe, where the myths of lost civilizations in Asia beckon with their own tales of grandeur and mystery. From the towering peaks of the Himalayas to the sprawling plains of India, these stories offer a glimpse into the dreams and fears of ancient cultures, each one a testament to the power of the unknown. High in the remote mountains of the Himalayas lies a legend that has captivated the hearts and minds of Tibetan Buddhists for centuries, the mystical kingdom of Shambhala. Often described as a hidden paradise, Shambhala is said to be a land of unparalleled peace, wisdom, and spiritual enlightenment. But this isn't just a tale of a faraway utopia. It's a deeply symbolic story that speaks to humanity's timeless longing for a better world. According to tradition, Shambhala is not merely a physical place but a spiritual realm, accessible only to those who have achieved a higher state of consciousness. And here's where the story takes an intriguing turn. It's believed that Shambhala will reveal itself to humanity during times of great suffering or global crisis, offering guidance and hope when the world needs it most. This idea of a hidden sanctuary waiting to emerge in our darkest hour resonates deeply with the human spirit. It reflects our collective desire for a society free from conflict, greed, and suffering, a place where harmony and enlightenment reign supreme. But Shambhala is more than just a dream, it's a call to action. Many interpret the legend as a metaphor for inner transformation, reminding us that the path to a better world begins within ourselves. The teachings associated with Shambhala encourage compassion, mindfulness, and the pursuit of wisdom, suggesting that the kingdom's true essence lies in how we choose to live our lives. Now, while Shambhala remains a cornerstone of Tibetan Buddhist mythology, it's far from the only tale of a lost or hidden land that has captured the imagination of cultures around the world. As we move from the snowy peaks of the Himalayas to the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, we find another rich tapestry of myths about vanished civilizations and uncharted paradises. These stories, like Shambhala, reflect humanity's enduring hope for discovery, whether it's a quest for spiritual awakening or the search for a land untouched by time. Let's explore these legends and uncover what they reveal about our shared dreams and aspirations. Imagine a vast, mysterious continent hidden beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean, its existence whispered about in ancient legends and modern myths alike. This is Mu, a fabled land said to have been home to an advanced civilization that vanished without a trace. Unlike Atlantis, which has roots in Plato's writings, Mu emerged far more recently, in the late 19th century, thanks to the work of a French-American writer named Augustus Le Plongeon. He claimed to have deciphered ancient Mayan texts that spoke of a sunken continent, a place he called Mu, which he believed was the cradle of human civilization. But here's where things get intriguing. Unlike Atlantis, which has some basis in ancient philosophy, Mu's origins are steeped in pseudoscience. Le Plongeon's theories were widely discredited by scholars, yet the idea of Mu captured the public's imagination. It became a kind of cultural phenomenon, a way to explain the similarities seen in distant cultures like the pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, or the shared motifs in Polynesian and Asian mythologies. Could these connections point to a shared ancestor, a lost civilization that once bridged the globe? Or is Mu simply a reflection of humanity's fascination with the unknown, a blank canvas onto which we project our dreams of what might have been? What's fascinating is how Mu has been woven into the fabric of modern myth. It's not just a story about a sunken land, it's a narrative about connection, about how cultures separated by oceans might share a hidden past. And while the scientific community dismisses Mu as a product of speculation, the legend persists, inspiring novels, films, and even conspiracy theories. It's a reminder of how myths can endure even when the evidence points elsewhere. Now, as we leave the shimmering waters of the Pacific behind, let's turn our gaze to another part of the world, Africa, a continent rich with its own legends of lost civilizations. From the tales of great Zimbabwe to the enigmatic ruins of the Sahara, Africa's myths of forgotten kingdoms offer a fascinating counterpart to the stories of Mu and Atlantis. These narratives remind us that the allure of lost worlds isn't confined to one corner of the globe. It's a universal thread in the tapestry of human storytelling. The ancient Egyptians spoke of a land shrouded in mystery and wonder, a place they called Punt. Described as a realm of unimaginable wealth, Punt was said to be a source of rare and exotic treasures, fragrant myrrh, gleaming gold, precious ebony, and even live animals like baboons and leopards. But where exactly was this legendary land? To this day, historians and archaeologists debate its location. Some believe it lay along the southern coast of the Red Sea, in what is now modern-day Eritrea or Somalia. Others suggest it might have been further inland, perhaps in parts of Ethiopia or even Yemen. What's fascinating is that, despite its elusive nature, Punt wasn't just a myth to the Egyptians. It was a real place they traded with, a connection to a world beyond their borders. The allure of Punt wasn't just about its riches, though. It represented something deeper, the human desire to explore the unknown and build bridges between cultures. Egyptian expeditions to Punt, immortalized in temple carvings, show scenes of exchange gifts, goods, and even gestures of friendship between the Egyptians and the people of Punt. These interactions remind us that even in ancient times, civilizations weren't isolated. They sought connection, trade, and the sharing of knowledge. Punt became a symbol of the exotic, the mysterious, and the unattainable, a place that captured the imagination and inspired generations. But Punt isn't the only legendary land that has fascinated us. Across the globe, stories of lost cities and forgotten civilizations have sparked curiosity and wonder. From the dense jungles of the Americas to the remote islands of the Pacific, these tales reveal a universal theme, the longing to uncover what lies beyond the horizon. As we leave the sands of Egypt behind, let's journey to the Americas, where myths of ancient cities hidden in the wilderness continue to captivate adventurers and dreamers alike. During the age of exploration, few legends captured the imagination and greed of European adventurers quite like the myth of the 7 cities of gold. Tales of these fabled cities, said to be brimming with unimaginable wealth, spread like wildfire among Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century. The story was rooted in a fascinating mix of indigenous folklore and European ambition. According to some accounts, Native American tribes spoke of prosperous cities to the north, their streets paved with gold and their temples adorned with precious gems. For the Spanish, already intoxicated by the riches they had plundered in the Americas, these stories were impossible to resist, but the 7 cities of gold were more than just a treasure hunter's dream. They became a symbol of the collision between two worlds, the indigenous cultures of the Americas and the insatiable hunger of European colonizers. Expeditions were launched, most notably by Francisco Vázquez de Coronado, who led a massive campaign through what is now the southwestern United States. What they found, however, was far from the glittering utopias they had imagined. Instead, they encountered modest villages and arid landscapes, a stark contrast to the myth that had driven them forward. Yet, the legend persisted, shaping the course of exploration and colonization in ways that would echo for centuries. This myth also highlights how stories can take on a life of their own, blending fact and fiction to create something entirely new. The 7 cities of gold weren't just a product of European greed. They were born from the oral traditions of indigenous peoples, reshaped and exaggerated through the lens of outsiders. It's a reminder that myths often reflect the hopes, fears, and desires of those who tell them, whether they're rooted in truth or pure fantasy. As we turn our gaze from the Americas to Europe, we find that the allure of lost civilizations was just as powerful there. From the sunken city of Atlantis to the mysterious ruins of Tartessos, the continent has its own share of legends that continue to captivate us. These stories, like the 7 cities of gold, remind us of humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown and the lengths we'll go to uncover it. Far to the north, beyond the icy winds and the reaches of the known world, the ancient Greeks spoke of a paradise untouched by sorrow or strife. This was Hyperborea, a land where the sun never set, where golden fields stretched endlessly, and where its inhabitants lived in perfect harmony with nature. The name itself, Hyperborea, means beyond the north wind, a place so distant and idyllic that it existed outside the struggles of mortal life. But was this merely a myth, or could it have been inspired by real cultures existing in the far north? The legends describe Hyperboreans as a people of immense joy and longevity, living in a realm where sickness and old age were unknown. They were said to worship Apollo, the god of light and music, who visited them regularly in his golden chariot. Some scholars suggest that Hyperborea might have been inspired by early encounters with northern tribes, such as the Scythians or even the Sami people of Scandinavia. These cultures, with their stark, beautiful landscapes and long summer days, could have sparked the Greek imagination, leading to tales of a land where the sun never dipped below the horizon. Yet Hyperborea is more than just a geographical mystery. It also represents a powerful symbol, a utopia, a place of perfection that humanity has always yearned for. This longing for an ideal world has echoed through countless myths, from the Garden of Eden to the lost city of Atlantis. Hyperborea, with its eternal sunshine and boundless joy, taps into that universal desire for a life free from suffering and conflict. As we leave the icy realm of Hyperborea, our journey takes us to another part of the world where the sands of time have buried stories just as captivating. The Middle East, a cradle of civilization, holds its own myths of lost cities and forgotten peoples. From the fabled hanging gardens of Babylon to the ancient city of Ubar, known as the Atlantis of the Sands, these tales remind us that the search for perfection is not confined to the frozen north. It is a thread that weaves through the fabric of human history, connecting us across time and space. Hidden deep within the ancient Sumerian tablets lies the Tale of Dilmun, a place of unparalleled beauty and peace. Described as a land where the gods once walked among humans, Dilmun was a paradise untouched by sickness, sorrow, or death. Imagine a world where fresh waters flowed endlessly, gardens bloomed eternally, and the sun's warmth was always gentle. For the Sumerians, Dilmun wasn't just a myth. It was a reflection of humanity's deepest yearning for a perfect, untroubled existence. This idyllic vision might sound familiar. Centuries later, the biblical Garden of Eden echoed many of the same themes, a pristine sanctuary where harmony reigned until it was lost. Both stories share striking parallels, a paradise where life was effortless, a divine presence, and the inevitable fall from grace. But while Eden is often seen as a moral lesson, Dilmun represents something even more profound, a cultural memory of a time before hardship, a golden age that resonates across civilizations. In Mesopotamian culture, Dilmun wasn't just a myth, it was a symbol of renewal and hope. It was believed to be a place where the sun god Utu rose each morning, bringing light and life to the world. Some scholars even suggest that Dilmun might have been inspired by real locations like Bahrain, known for its lush landscapes and abundant springs. Yet, whether real or imagined, Dilmun's legacy endures as a testament to humanity's timeless desire to return to a simpler, purer way of life. This longing for an idyllic past isn't unique to Mesopotamia. Across the globe, cultures have spun tales of lost paradises and forgotten golden ages. From the lush valleys of Dilmun to the misty peaks of South America, these myths remind us of a shared human dream, a world where harmony between gods, nature, and humanity was not just possible but inevitable. Speaking of South America, let's journey now to another corner of the ancient world, where the whispers of lost civilizations tell their own stories of paradise and mystery. Deep within the dense jungles of South America, a legend has captivated explorers, adventurers, and dreamers for centuries: El Dorado, the fabled city of gold. This myth, born from the rich cultural tapestry of indigenous peoples, began as a ritual. The Muisca people, who lived in what is now Colombia, had a tradition where their leader, the Zipa, would cover himself in gold dust and dive into Lake Guatavita as an offering to the gods. This ceremony, known as El Dorado, or the Golden One, symbolized a connection to the divine and the land's abundance. But when European conquerors arrived in the 16th century, the story transformed into something far grander and far more destructive. The Spanish, driven by insatiable greed, twisted the tale of El Dorado into a vision of a city overflowing with gold, hidden deep in the uncharted jungles. Expeditions were launched, lives were lost, and entire ecosystems were ravaged in the pursuit of this mythical treasure. The irony is stark. A ritual meant to honor the earth became the catalyst for its exploitation. The legend of El Dorado serves as a haunting reminder of how the allure of wealth can blind us to the true value of culture, nature, and human life. It also reflects a larger pattern of how myths, when misunderstood or weaponized, can lead to profound consequences. As we leave the sweltering jungles of South America, our journey takes us to the icy, unforgiving landscapes of the Arctic, where another lost civilization awaits discovery. Here, the myths are not of gold but of survival, resilience, and the mysteries buried beneath glaciers and permafrost. These stories, like El Dorado, remind us that the pursuit of the unknown often reveals more about ourselves than the secrets we seek to uncover. Beyond the icy horizons of the ancient world lies a legend shrouded in mystery and allure: the myth of Thule. First mentioned by the Greek explorer Pytheas in the 4th century BC, Thule was described as a distant northern land, a place so remote and untouched that it seemed to exist at the very edge of human imagination. Pytheas claimed it lay 6 days' sail north of Britain, where the sun barely set in summer and the seas turned to a slushy, icy mass. But was Thule a real place, or was it a metaphor for the unknown, a symbol of humanity's endless quest to explore the furthest reaches of the earth? Over time, Thule became more than just a geographical curiosity. It evolved into an idea, a vision of purity and perfection. In the minds of later writers and thinkers, it transformed into an Arctic utopia, a land unspoiled by civilization where nature reigned supreme. This idealized version of Thule captured the imagination of poets, philosophers, and even political movements. For some, it represented an untouched Eden, a reminder of what the world could be if humanity lived in harmony with nature. But for others, Thule took on a darker meaning, becoming a symbol of racial and ideological purity, co-opted by groups seeking to legitimize their agendas. The myth of Thule speaks to something deeper within us, a fascination with the unknown, the edges of the known world. It reflects our longing to discover places that exist just beyond the boundaries of our understanding, whether they are physical, like the Arctic, or metaphorical, like the ideal societies we dream of building. Thule is a reminder that myths are never static. They shift and change, shaped by the hopes, fears, and ambitions of those who tell them. But as we leave the icy realms of the north, let's turn our gaze to another corner of the ancient world, where myths of lost civilizations rise from the warm waters of the Indian Ocean. Here, the stories are no less captivating, filled with tales of sunken cities, advanced cultures, and forgotten kingdoms that once thrived beneath the waves. What secrets do these legends hold, and how do they continue to capture our imagination? Now, let's journey to the Indian Ocean, where the myth of Lemuria once captured the imagination of scientists and storytellers alike. In the 19th century, naturalists puzzled over the curious distribution of lemurs, small primates found in Madagascar, India, and parts of Africa. How could these creatures exist so far apart without a land connection? enter Lemuria, a hypothetical lost continent proposed as a land bridge to explain this mystery. At first, Lemuria was a scientific hypothesis, a way to fill gaps in the understanding of biogeography. But it didn't take long for this idea to escape the confines of academia and take on a life of its own. Soon, Lemuria became more than just a land bridge. It transformed into a full-fledged civilization, often compared to the legendary Atlantis or the mysterious Mu. Some claimed it was a utopian society, home to advanced beings with profound spiritual wisdom. Others saw it as a cautionary tale, a civilization that fell due to hubris or catastrophe. What makes Lemuria so fascinating is how it reveals humanity's tendency to create myths when faced with the unknown. In the absence of concrete knowledge, we weave stories to explain the inexplicable. Lemuria, like Atlantis, became a canvas for our collective imagination, reflecting our longing for connection, understanding, and even a touch of mystery. But as science advanced, the idea of Lemuria as a physical land bridge faded. Plate tectonics provided a more concrete explanation for the distribution of species, and Lemuria slipped from the realm of science into the world of myth. Yet, Lemuria's legacy endures. It reminds us that myths often arise not from pure fiction, but from our innate desire to make sense of the world, and it's not alone. Across the globe, stories of lost civilizations abound, each offering a glimpse into how different cultures grapple with the unknown. Take, for instance, the Mediterranean, where tales of ancient, sunken cities have sparked curiosity for centuries. From the ruins of Tartessos in Spain to the legendary city of Hyperborea in Greece, these myths echo the same themes of discovery, loss, and the enduring allure of what lies beneath the waves. But what drives us to keep searching for these lost worlds? Is it the thrill of discovery, the hope of uncovering forgotten truths, or simply the joy of storytelling? Perhaps it's all of these. After all, myths like Lemuria remind us that the past is not just a collection of facts, it's a tapestry woven with threads of wonder, curiosity, and imagination. And as we explore these stories, we're not just uncovering lost civilizations, we're uncovering a part of ourselves. Nestled in the heart of the Mediterranean, the island of Crete was once home to one of the most advanced and enigmatic civilizations of the ancient world, the Minoans. Flourishing around 2600 BC, the Minoans built a society that was ahead of its time, with sprawling palaces, intricate art, and a maritime empire that dominated trade routes across the Aegean. Yet, despite their remarkable achievements, the Minoans vanished almost as mysteriously as they appeared, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in myth and speculation. At the center of their story is the cataclysmic eruption of the volcano on the nearby island of Thule, now known as Santorini. This event, one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in recorded history, is believed to have triggered tsunamis, earthquakes, and ash clouds that devastated Crete. The once thriving Minoan cities were abandoned, their palaces left in ruins. But was this natural disaster the sole cause of their downfall? Or did it merely hasten the collapse of a civilization already weakened by internal strife or external threats? The truth remains elusive, buried beneath layers of ash and time. What makes the Minoans so fascinating is not just their sudden disappearance, but the cultural brilliance they left behind. Their art, vibrant and full of life, depicted scenes of nature, religious rituals, and daily life with a sophistication that rivaled later Greek civilizations. The famous Palace of Knossos, with its labyrinthine corridors and vivid frescoes, has fueled speculation about the myth of the Minotaur, a creature said to dwell in a maze beneath the palace. Was this myth a distorted memory of the Minoan civilization itself, a labyrinth of complexity and wonder that later generations struggled to comprehend? The Minoans also remind us of the fragility of human progress. Their advanced society, built over centuries, was undone in a moment by forces beyond their control. It's a sobering lesson about the impermanence of even the greatest achievements, a theme that echoes through the stories of other lost civilizations. From the ashes of Thura, the Minoan's legacy lives on, a testament to both the heights of human ingenuity and the vulnerability of our creations. As we leave the shores of Crete and the mysteries of the Minoans behind, our journey takes us across the Atlantic, where the myths of lost civilizations in the Americas await. Unlike the sudden cataclysm that befell the Minoans, many of these stories are steeped in gradual decline, environmental shifts, and the echoes of societies that thrived long before European contact. From the towering pyramids of Mesoamerica to the enigmatic ruins of the Andes, these tales offer a different perspective on the rise and fall of human civilizations, one that's just as compelling and filled with unanswered questions. Moving from the towering pyramids of Mesoamerica, let's journey to a different kind of ancient marvel, one that lies hidden beneath the fertile plains of the Mississippi River Valley. This is Cahokia, a city that once thrived as the largest urban center in North America, long before European settlers set foot on the continent. At its peak around the year 1050, Cahokia was home to tens of thousands of people, a bustling metropolis with sprawling plazas, monumental earthen mounds, and a society as complex as any in the ancient world. The largest of these mounds, known as Monk's Mound, rises nearly 100 feet high, a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of its builders. But what makes Cahokia truly fascinating is not just its size or its achievements, it's the mystery that surrounds its sudden decline. By the year 1400, this once thriving city was abandoned, leaving behind silent mounds and unanswered questions. Theories about Cahokia's fall range from environmental collapse to social upheaval. Some suggest that overpopulation and deforestation led to resource depletion, while others point to evidence of warfare or disease. But beyond the scientific explanations, myths have grown around Cahokia, weaving tales of divine wrath or curses that doomed the city. These legends, though unproven, reflect the awe and mystery that Cahokia still inspires. They remind us that even the most advanced societies are not immune to the forces of time and nature. Cahokia challenges our understanding of pre-Columbian America, revealing a continent far more interconnected and sophisticated than many realize. It forces us to rethink the narrative of a primitive pre-contact world and instead see a landscape rich with innovation and cultural complexity. But Cahokia is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Across the globe, from the Americas to Africa, stories of lost civilizations continue to captivate us. In Africa, for instance, the myths surrounding the ancient city of Great Zimbabwe tell of a kingdom shrouded in gold and mystery, its stone walls standing as silent witnesses to a forgotten era. These tales, like those of Cahokia, challenge us to dig deeper to uncover the truths that lie beneath the layers of myth and legend. They remind us that history is not always written in stone. Sometimes it's buried in the earth, waiting to be rediscovered. Nestled in the heart of southern Africa, the ruins of Great Zimbabwe stand as a testament to a civilization that thrived centuries ago. This medieval city, built entirely of stone, was once the epicenter of a powerful kingdom, renowned for its wealth, trade, and architectural ingenuity. The very name Zimbabwe comes from the Shona phrase, Dizimba Mabwe, meaning houses of stone, a fitting tribute to its grandeur. But beyond its physical marvels, Great Zimbabwe is shrouded in myths and legends, tales of kings who commanded vast riches and a city that glittered with gold. The architecture alone is awe-inspiring. Massive stone walls, some reaching over 30 feet high, curve gracefully without the use of mortar, standing the test of time. These structures weren't just functional, they were symbols of power and prestige, designed to showcase the ingenuity and strength of the people who built them. Yet, for all its grandeur, Great Zimbabwe became a target of colonial distortion. When European explorers first encountered the ruins in the late 19th century, they refused to believe that such a sophisticated city could have been built by Africans. Instead, they spun tales of lost tribes or even connections to biblical figures, trying to erase the African origins of this marvel, but the truth is undeniable. Archaeological evidence, from pottery shards to gold artifacts, points to a thriving African civilization that dominated trade routes across the Indian Ocean. Great Zimbabwe was a hub of commerce, exchanging gold, ivory, and other goods with traders from as far away as China and the Middle East. This wasn't just a city, it was a symbol of African resilience, ingenuity, and cultural pride. Despite colonial attempts to rewrite its history, Great Zimbabwe remains a powerful reminder of Africa's rich and complex past. From the stone walls of southern Africa, our journey now takes us to the myths and mysteries of lost civilizations in Asia. Here, ancient tales whisper of cities swallowed by jungles, empires that vanished overnight, and secrets buried beneath layers of time. The stories of Asia's forgotten worlds are as enigmatic as they are captivating, and they await us just beyond the horizon. Deep in the dense jungles of Cambodia lies a mystery that has captivated explorers, historians, and dreamers for centuries: the lost city of Angkor. Once the beating heart of the Khmer Empire, this sprawling metropolis was a marvel of its time, with towering temples and intricate waterways that showcased the ingenuity of its people. But by the 15th century, Angkor was abandoned, left to be swallowed by the relentless embrace of the jungle. What happened to this once thriving city, and why did its people leave behind such a monumental legacy? The answers lie somewhere between history, myth, and the whispers of time. At its peak, Angkor was a testament to human ambition and creativity. The crown jewel of the city, Angkor Wat, is still considered one of the most breathtaking architectural achievements in the world. Its massive stone structures, adorned with intricate carvings depicting gods, demons, and epic battles, tell stories of a civilization deeply connected to its spiritual and cultural roots. But Angkor was more than just temples. It was a bustling urban center, home to hundreds of thousands of people. Its advanced hydraulic system, which included reservoirs, canals, and moats, was a feat of engineering that sustained the city for centuries. Yet, despite its grandeur, Angkor's decline remains shrouded in mystery. Some theories suggest that environmental factors like prolonged droughts or the strain on resources played a role. Others point to political instability or the shifting focus of the Khmer Empire toward other regions. The truth is likely a combination of these factors, but what's undeniable is that Angkor's fall serves as a powerful reminder of the impermanence of human achievements. Even the greatest civilizations are not immune to the forces of nature and time. Angkor's story is more than just a historical curiosity. It's a symbol of humanity's fleeting triumphs. The jungle that reclaimed the city stands as a testament to nature's enduring power, a force that can erase even the most enduring monuments. But Angkor's legacy lives on, not just in its ruins but in the myths and stories that surround it. Some say the city's spirit still lingers, hidden beneath the vines and shadows, waiting to be rediscovered. From the jungles of Cambodia, our journey now takes us across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, where other myths of lost civilizations await. These stories, like Angkor's, remind us that the rise and fall of great societies are woven into the fabric of human history, each one leaving behind echoes of their existence for us to unravel. Rising from the turquoise waters of the Pacific lies Madol, a city unlike any other. Built entirely on artificial islands, this ancient marvel has baffled historians and archaeologists for centuries. Picture this: massive basalt columns, some weighing up to 50 tons, stacked with precision to create a labyrinth of canals, temples, and royal tombs. But how did a civilization isolated in the middle of the ocean achieve such a feat? The answer lies in both ingenuity and myth. The origins of Madol are shrouded in mystery. Local legends speak of twin brothers Olisipa and Olisopa, who arrived from a distant land and used magic to move the colossal stones into place. Some say they summoned the help of a flying dragon, while others believe they harnessed the power of sorcery. These tales, though fantastical, hint at the awe and reverence the people of Micronesia held for their ancestors and their incredible achievements. But beyond the legends, Madol stands as a testament to human resilience and adaptability. Constructed in a region prone to typhoons and surrounded by salt water, the city's builders mastered the art of survival in one of the most challenging environments on Earth. What makes Madol even more intriguing is its sudden abandonment. The city, once a thriving hub of culture and power, was left deserted with no clear explanation. Some suggest that the strain of maintaining such a complex system of artificial islands became too great, while others point to the legends of curses and supernatural forces driving its inhabitants away. This blend of history and myth keeps the story of Madol alive, inviting us to ponder the fine line between human achievement and the mysteries that time refuses to reveal. As we leave the shimmering waters of the Pacific, our journey takes us to the heart of Europe, where myths of lost civilizations echo through the ages. From the sunken city of Atlantis to the enigmatic ruins of Tartessos, the stories of forgotten worlds continue to captivate our imagination. Hidden deep within the annals of ancient history lies Tartessos, a legendary kingdom that once thrived in what is now modern-day Spain. Renowned for its wealth, advanced culture, and strategic location, Tartessos was said to be a land of unimaginable riches, its people skilled in metallurgy and trade. Some historians even speculate that this enigmatic civilization could be the biblical Tarshish, a place mentioned in the Old Testament as a source of precious metals like silver and gold. But Tartessos is more than just a footnote in history. It's a tantalizing blend of myth and reality, a civilization whose very existence teeters on the edge of legend. What makes Tartessos so fascinating is the mystery surrounding its sudden disappearance. Around the 6th century BC, this once thriving kingdom vanished from historical records, leaving behind only fragmented clues. Was it destroyed by natural disasters, conquered by invaders, or simply absorbed into neighboring cultures? The truth remains elusive, and this ambiguity has fueled countless theories and interpretations. Tartessos represents the perfect example of how ancient myths can intertwine with historical facts, creating a narrative that captures our imagination and challenges our understanding of the past. The allure of Tartessos lies not just in its riches or its downfall, but in the questions it raises about how civilizations are remembered or forgotten. Its story is a reminder that history is often shaped by the stories we tell, blending tangible evidence with the intangible magic of myth. And as we ponder the fate of Tartessos, it's impossible not to wonder about other lost civilizations that have slipped through the cracks of time. This brings us to the Americas, a land steeped in its own legends of mysterious cultures that rose and fell long before European contact. From the enigmatic Olmecs to the advanced yet elusive city of El Dorado, the myths of the New World echo the same themes of grandeur, mystery, and sudden disappearance. These stories, much like Tartessos, remind us that the line between myth and history is often blurred, and that sometimes the most captivating tales are those that leave us with more questions than answers. High in the rugged cliffs of the American Southwest, the Anasazi, or ancient Pueblones, carved out a life that still baffles archaeologists and historians today. These ingenious people thrived for centuries, building elaborate cliff dwellings that cling to the sides of sandstone canyons like natural fortresses. Places like Mesa Verde and Choco Canyon stand as silent witnesses to their extraordinary engineering skills and deep connection to the land. But what makes the Anasazi truly captivating is not just how they lived, it's the mystery of why they disappeared. Around the 13th century, these thriving communities abandoned their homes, leaving behind pottery, tools, and even food stores. What could have driven them to leave everything behind? Theories about their decline range from environmental changes to social upheaval. Some experts point to prolonged droughts that made farming nearly impossible, while others suggest internal conflicts or pressure from neighboring tribes. There's even speculation that their spiritual beliefs played a role, as if they were following a call to move on to a new chapter. But the truth remains elusive, buried in the dust of centuries. What we do know is that the Anasazi's story is a powerful reminder of how civilizations rise, adapt, and sometimes vanish, leaving behind only fragments of their legacy for us to piece together. Their cliff dwellings, with their intricate kivas and labyrinthine passageways, weren't just shelters, they were centers of culture, spirituality, and community. These structures reflect a people deeply attuned to their environment, using the natural landscape to their advantage in ways that still inspire awe. The Anasazi's ability to thrive in such a harsh, arid region speaks to their resilience and ingenuity, qualities that make their disappearance all the more mysterious. But the Anasazi aren't just a story of loss, they're a testament to the enduring human spirit. Their legacy lives on in the modern Pueblo peoples who trace their ancestry back to these ancient builders. Through their descendants, the Anasazi's traditions, stories, and wisdom continue to shape the cultural tapestry of the Southwest. Their story invites us to reflect on the fragility of civilizations and the forces, both natural and human, that can reshape the course of history. From the sun-baked cliffs of the Southwest, we now turn our gaze to the icy expanses of the Arctic, where another enigmatic civilization once flourished. The myths of the Arctic's lost cultures hold their own secrets waiting to be uncovered. Deep in the frozen expanse of the Arctic, long before the Inuit arrived, another civilization thrived against all odds, the Dorset people. This ancient culture, often overshadowed by later arrivals, carved out a life in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Their story is one of resilience, ingenuity, and ultimately, mystery, a tale that invites us to explore humanity's enduring struggle to adapt to nature's extremes. The Dorset people, named after Cape Dorset in modern-day Canada, lived in the Arctic for nearly 2,000 years, from around 500 BC to around 1500 CE. Unlike the Inuit, who relied heavily on marine mammals like whales and seals, the Dorset developed a unique way of life centered around smaller game, such as walruses and polar bears. They crafted intricate tools and weapons, including harpoons and snow knives, designed to survive the brutal Arctic winters. But what truly sets them apart is their artistry. Dorset carvings, often made from walrus ivory or bone, depict hauntingly beautiful figures of humans, animals, and mythical beings. These artifacts offer a glimpse into their worldview, hinting at a deep spiritual connection to the land and its creatures. Yet, despite their adaptability, the Dorset people vanished. By the time the Inuit migrated into the region around the year 1000 CE, the Dorset culture was in decline. The exact reasons for their disappearance remain a mystery, but several theories have emerged. Some suggest that a changing climate made their hunting practices unsustainable. Others point to the arrival of the Inuit, who may have outcompeted the Dorset for resources. There's even speculation that the Dorset lacked the social organization or technological advancements to survive in a rapidly changing world. Whatever the cause, their disappearance leaves us with a poignant reminder of how fragile even the most resilient cultures can be. The Dorset story is more than just a historical footnote. It's a testament to humanity's ability to endure and adapt in the face of overwhelming challenges. Their culture represents a delicate balance between survival and reverence for the natural world, a theme that resonates even today. As we prepare to wrap up this journey through forgotten myths and ancient civilizations, the Dorset people's legacy invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the environment. How do we adapt to change? What can we learn from those who came before us? These questions linger as we close this chapter, reminding us that the past is never truly lost. It lives on in the stories we tell and the lessons we carry forward. As we reach the end of our journey through the forgotten myths of ancient civilizations, it's impossible not to feel a sense of wonder at the stories that have shaped humanity's imagination for centuries. These tales, born from the sands of Egypt, the jungles of the Maya, and the icy peaks of the Andes, are more than just relics of the past. They are windows into the collective soul of humanity. They reveal our deepest fears, our loftiest hopes, and the dreams that have driven us to explore, create, and endure. What's striking is how these myths, despite being separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, often share striking similarities. Whether it's the quest for immortality, the struggle against chaos, or the reverence for natural forces, these recurring themes remind us that, at our core, we are all connected by the same fundamental questions. Who are we? Why are we here? And what lies beyond the horizon of our understanding? These ancient stories also hold profound lessons for our modern world. In a time of rapid change and uncertainty, they remind us of the enduring power of storytelling to unite, inspire, and guide. They teach us about resilience in the face of adversity, the importance of respecting the natural world, and the timeless human desire to find meaning in the unknown. So, as we close this chapter, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. Which of these lost myths speaks to you the most? Is it the haunting tale of Atlantis, the mystical legends of the Inca, or perhaps the enigmatic stories of Mesopotamia? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear which ancient narrative resonates with you and why. And if you've enjoyed this exploration into humanity's hidden past, don't forget to subscribe and join me as we continue to uncover the mysteries of our world's most fascinating civilizations. Together, let's keep the stories of the past alive and let them inspire us to imagine the possibilities of the future.